Hi guys, welcome back. Talking Algebra 1/2 Pre-Algebra, 3rd edition. Guys, today we are going to be talking about Lesson 26. Lesson 26. I hope you have your notes out and I hope that you are ready to write because we are going to take down some notes. So for those of you who are in my class, make sure that you turn to your notes section or your video section and right at the top of your page, Lesson 26. We're going to talk today about averages, okay? And the reason why I want you to take notes is because it turns out there's actually 3 types of averages, 3 kinds of averages. And so I want you to take notes as to which ones those are, averages. All right, so the one you're probably thinking of, when I think of average, you probably are thinking of mean. And that is, let's say you take your math, you do your math class, you take 5 different math tests and you get like a 68. This is just an example. You don't have to write this part down. 68 plus 72 plus 91 plus you're really studying, you got 98 plus then you didn't feel great at all and you got a 74. Okay, so in order to find the average, what we would do is, and by average I mean, I want to find on average, what grade do you get on your tests? And the way we do that is we add all these up, which you can see I already started to do, and then we divide by the number of numbers. So 68 plus 72 plus 91 plus 98 plus 74 gives us 403. 403. I'm gonna make life easier because I was totally making those numbers up off the top of my head. You're gonna get a 93 instead of 91, which gives us 2 more over here. 405. 405, okay? So what we have are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers, right? And we have to divide all of this by 5. So we're going to do 405 divided by 5, which equals 81. 81. So the average score that you get is about an 81, meaning that you sometimes get something a little higher, sometimes something a little bit lower. Okay, so that is your mean, and so we're going to write that down. Mean is add up all the numbers and divide by the number of numbers. Okay? So mean is add up all the numbers and divide by the number of numbers. The next one is mode. Mode sounds like most often. It's the one that occurs most often. So if you have your test scores, let's say we're going to talk quiz scores, right? Let's see if that works. There we go. We're going to talk quiz scores this time, right? So you've got like 10 quizzes and you get a 7, 8, 9, you got a 3 one day, you got a 5, you got a 4, and then you got a 7 again, and then you got 8, another 8. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so in order for us to find them most often, we would look, I see 1, 2, 3 7s, but I also see 1, 2, 3 8s. That means our mode in this case would be 7 or 8, 7 and 8, I should say, 7 and 8. So it's the one that occurs the most often. All right, next one is median. And you guys, if you're, for those of you who are gonna be driving soon, the median is the middle part of the road. And you probably have seen it down the middle of the road where it's like the grass that, you know, is in the center or whatever. That's called the median. So your median average, this one is find the middle. Find the middle, okay? So what we do is we actually what we should say is find the middle, comma, after putting all the numbers in order. After putting all the numbers in order. All right, so we're gonna go into some examples about these. All right, let's talk this. Example number 1, it says, a high school counselor administered a math test to 12 8th grade students for the high school placement. The students had the following scores. They had 40, 30, 43, 48, 26, 50, 55, 40, 34, 42, 47, and 50. Okay, so it's finding the range, mode, median, and mean of this data set, okay? First things first, you always have to put them into numerical order, okay? Personally, I like to put them long ways because we're gonna be finding the median eventually. So what we're gonna do is, let's do this. We're gonna go through this and we're gonna say, okay, 26 is the smallest one, I think, right? 26, and then let's see, I'm gonna underline all my 30s. I think that's a better way of doing that. All right, 30, 34. All right, I'm gonna underline all my 40s. All right, so I've got 40 and 40. I'm gonna get rid of those guys. And then I got 43, 48, 42, and let's do 42. 43, and then 47, 48, and then 50, 50. So I'm just gonna write it down here, 50, 50, and 55. Okay, so now that I have these guys, right? Like I said, I like to write mine. Well, first things first, let's find the mean. The mean. And to do that, we're going to add up all these numbers. So you can go ahead and do it along with me, or you can watch. We're just going to do 34 plus 40 plus 40 plus 42 plus 43 plus 47 plus 48 plus 50 plus 50 plus 55. That gives us 505. Okay, but of course, after we add them all up, we divide by the number of numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 505 divided by 12 gives me 42.1. Now, note that it's actually 42.083, blah, 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 but I'm rounding up, so it's 42.1 is for our mean, okay? Now, the next one is our mode, which is the most often. Mode is most often. It looks like I see a 40 and a 40 and a 50 and a 50. So the mode is going to be both 40 and 50, okay? Now, for the median, I'm going to write this. I'm going to do this, and then I'll show you what I'm doing. And the reason why I'm doing it this way, where I'm writing it down the other side, is because when we get into some other data management and getting into our 5 points of data, this is really a much better way of doing it. 50, 50, 55. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. Always counting. I also counted these to make sure that I did do 12, right? Let's just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. And I counted them when I was doing them in the book. Okay, so what I've done here is I've written them this way, and I think that this is a lot easier to do it. We've determined that there are 12, right? So to divide that evenly, I have to have 6 on either side, right? Even number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right smack dab in the middle there is our median. Now, we can't play favorites here and pick 42 or 43 as our median. We actually have to find what's exactly in the middle of that. Now, you may know off the top of your head, you're like, oh, that's 42.5. 42.5. But let's say your median fell between like 73 and 79. And you're like, I don't feel like doing the math to figure out what is in between here. So what you could do is do 73 plus, you're doing like a mini average, you're finding a mini mean. 73 plus 79, right? And that's 2 numbers, so we're gonna divide by 2, and that gives us 76. So right smack dab in the middle of 73 and 79 is 76. Again, all I did was add these 2 things and then divide by the number of numbers, which happens to be 2, and that gave me smack dab in the middle. All right, so our median is 42. The other thing that we have not talked about yet is our range. And our range is found, make sure you're writing this down, our range is found by doing, let's go back up here. When it's written in this nice, lovely order, this is our min, this is our max. And so our range is found by taking max minus the minimum. So in this case, that's gonna be 55 minus 26 up there. what is that? 29. That will give us a range of 29. And that's just saying like for the data spans 29 different, like 29 units, I guess you could say. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these other ones. Okay, so many word problems require that we find the average. Okay, so if you're following along at home, I'm on page 88. So let me clean up my board here. And I'm going to do another practice problem here. So that one is going to be example 2. Let's do it like this. Example 2. All right, for this practice problem, it says when the boys measured the distance 3 times, they got 3 different answers. If the measurements were, if the measurements were 4.017, 4.212, and 3.996, all of those are meters. We're using meters. What was the mean of the 3 measurements? And again, mean is add those all up, and then we're going to divide by 3 because there's 3 numbers there. So if we add all those guys up, 3.996. All right, so we end up getting 1, 2. I would add by hand, but I know I'll make a mistake, and then nobody's here to catch me because I do this by myself. So we'll do it like that. So take that, and then we divide by 3, and I don't mind if you use calculators at this point. We get 4.075. So the average of those measurements was 4.075, or 4 75 thousandths. Okay. Let's look at example 3. Okay, so the other examples are just finding those averages for in word problems, okay? So for like number 3, it says when Athena sprang in full armor from the head of Zeus, 2 other gods guessed the weight of her panoply. One guess was 41 and 802 thousandths kilograms. The other guess was 37 and 408 thousandth kilogram. I have to think about that. What was the mean of the 2 guesses? Basically, we've got to find the mean of 41.802 plus 37.408. And when we add those guys up, we're going to divide by 2 because there are 2 numbers in our data set. So 41.802 plus 37.408 gives us 79.21. Divide that by 2 and we end up with, 39.605. So that would be our average. All right, guys, so on page 88, about halfway down or towards the bottom, are a couple of practice problems. I want you to go ahead and try those and then come on back. And so pause the video, try those, come on back, and we'll do those together. All right, we're going to find, for A, we're going to find the range, mode, median, and mean for 9, 8, 2, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 6. All right, so, and then it says round to any 2 decimal places. So first things first, let's put these guys in order. So if we've got, let's start with 2, 2, and then 4, 4, and then 5 and 6. I don't want to make a mistake. 8 and 9. 8, 9. Okay, so now we've got it in order. So let's, in order to find the mean first, we add them all up, divide by the number of numbers. So 2 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 8 plus 9 gives us, this all added up gives us 38, but we need to divide that by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 38 divided by 7. And when we do that, we get 5. So you'll see on the calculator, it's 5.428. That means it's going to round up to 5.43. Do you see how that rounds up to 5.43? Okay. So that was the mean, right? Mean. I'll write that over here. Mean. Now we have to find the mode. Mode is most often. And that looks like it's going to be 4. So our mean is 5.43. Our mode is 4. Our median, there are 7 numbers, which means we're going to pick the one that's right smack dab in the middle, putting 6 on either side. Right there, that's going to give us 5. And then our range is the maximum number, 9, minus the minimum number, 2. So 9 minus 2 gives us 7. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, those are good. Now let's try B. The height of the first 3 buildings was 420 feet. The height of the second building was 380 feet. What was the height of the third building if the median, oh, I'm sorry, the height of the second building was the first of 3 buildings. Guys, half the battle is reading the problem correctly. Let me put this up here. This is what happens when I take my glasses off. I don't know. Okay, so let's start again. So the height of the first of 3 buildings was 420. Okay, and that's building number 1, building 2, and building 3. The height of the second building was 380. Now, what was the height of the third building if the mean was 430? 430. So we don't know what the height of the third building is, and when we don't know, we use a variable, right? But what we do know is we have the mean here, and in order to find the mean, we add all these guys up. So 420 plus 380 plus x, but don't forget, we add them all up and then divide by the number of numbers. So we're gonna divide this all by 3. Equals 430 because I have 1, 2, 3. All of this would give us our mean, and conveniently they've given us our mean, so we can just insert that right there. All right, so I want to get that 3 over to the other side. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. Okay? Because if I do that over here, these guys go away, and what I'm left with is 420 plus 380 plus x equals, and then we have 430 times 3, which gives me 1290. 1290. All right, well that makes it a little bit more manageable because we just have a missing number in here. So all we have to do is add these 2 together, and then whatever that is, we'll subtract it from this. So 420 plus 380 gives us 800. So we have 800 plus x equals 1290. All right, guys, if we subtract 800 from both sides, right, because it's an addition problem and we do the opposite. So 1290 minus 800 gives us 4x equals 490. So, and it's feet because we're talking in units. So guys, this is a word problem, which means you need to end it in a sentence. So the sentence should read, the height of the third building was 490 feet, because that's what it needed to be in order for the mean of all these to be 430. All right, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, great work, and we'll see you in class.